Hi, my name is Aishwarya Ramya. My metric card number is CE190177. In this video, I am going to explain about the kidney. The organ that I choose is kidney. The kidney are two bean-shaped organs, each about size of fist. They are located just below the rib cage, one on each side of your spine. Healthy kidney filters about half cup of blood of every minute, removing waste products and extra water to make urine. The urine flows from the kidney to the bladder through two thin tubes of muscle called ureters, one on each side of your bladder. Your bladder stores urine. Your kidney, ureters and bladder are part of your urinary tract. Why a kidney is so important? Your kidney remove waste and extra fluid from your body. Your kidney also remove acid that is produced by the cell of your body and maintain healthy balance of water, salt and minerals such as sodium, calcium, phosphorus and also potassium in your blood. Without this balance, nerves, muscles and other tissue in your bodies may not work normally. Your kidney also makes hormones that help control blood pressure, make red blood cell which is RBC, keep your bones stronger and healthier. An easy way to memorize the 7 different roles of kidney, we usually use the term of a wet bed. A is for controlling acid-base balance. W is stand for controlling water balance. E is stand for maintaining electrolyte balance. T is stand for removing toxin and waste product from your body. B is stand for controlling blood pressure. E is stand for producing an hormone erythropoietin, and D is stand for activating vitamin D. These are the 7 main roles of a kidney. Along with this video, I'm also attached the making of kidney, which I did in Adobe Illustrator. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Marthal. My metric number is CE190044. Okay. The organ that I draw in the software is lung. This is the external part of the lung, and this is the right side of the lung. This is the left side of the lung, and this one is the internal side of the lung, and this one is the alveoli. Now I want to show on how I draw the lung organ in the software. Breathing is the most important thing our body does. Without lungs to breathe, we can't live. It sounds simple, but how lungs work? In fact, our entire respiratory system is very complex. A person usually breathes an average of 30 pints of air every minute. To accommodate the heart, the right lung is larger than the left lung. Oxygen only plays a small part in breathing. The air we breathe contains 21% oxygen, but our bodies only use 5%. The rest is exhale. The function of lungs is to absorb oxygen from the air you breathe in and transfer it into your bloodstream so that it can get to every part of your body. As the cells in your body work, they produce a waste gas called carbon dioxide that is released into the bloodstream. Your lungs get rid of this waste gas when you breathe out. The function of lungs is to absorb oxygen from the air you breathe in and transfer it into your bloodstream so that it can get to every part of your body. As the cells in your body work, they produce a waste gas called carbon dioxide that is released into the bloodstream. Your lungs get rid of this waste gas when you breathe out. The function of lungs is to absorb oxygen from the air you breathe in and transfer it into your bloodstream so that it can get to every part of your body. As the cells in your body work, they produce a waste gas called carbon dioxide that is released into the bloodstream. Your lungs get rid of this waste gas when you breathe out. The pleura is a thin, transparent covering called a membrane that surrounds your lungs and lines the inside of your ribcage. It has two layers, so the outside of the lungs can slightly move smoothly against the inside of the chest wall as you breathe. Within the lungs, the muscle-lined bronchi split like the branches of a tree into tens of thousands of even smaller tubes, which connect to tiny sacs called alveoli. The average adult's lungs contain about 600 million of these spongy, hair-filled structures. There are enough alveoli in just one lung to cover an area roughly the size of a tennis court. The function of your bronchi is carry air to and from your lungs. The bronchi also help moisturize the air you breathe and screen out foreign particles. The bronchi are lined with cilia, tiny hair-like structures. The cilia help move mucus and particles off your lungs. When you cough or swallow, the particles trapped in the mucus move out your body or into your digestive tract where your body can dispose of them. Your bronchi work with your respiratory system to help you breathe. When you breathe, the air passes from your mouth to your trachea. Next, your trachea will divide into your left and right bronchi. Then, the bronchi will carry air into your lungs. At the end of the bronchioles carry air to small sacs into your lungs called alveoli. The alveoli perform your body's gas exchange. Phonation is the creation of sound by structures in the upper respiratory tract of the respiratory system. During exhalation, air passes from the lungs toward the larynx or voice box. When we speak, muscle in the larynx move the arytenoid cartilage. The arytenoid cartilage push the vocal cords or vocal folds together. When the cords are pushed together, air passing between them makes them vibrate, creating sound. The alveoli are where the crucial gas exchange takes place. The hair sacs are surrounded by a dense network of minute blood vessels or capillaries which connect to the heart. Those that link to the pulmonary arteries carry deoxygenated blood that needs to be refreshed. Oxygen passes through the incredibly thin walls of the alveoli into the capillaries and is then carried back to the heart via the pulmonary veins. At the same time, carbon dioxide is removed from the blood through the same process of diffusion.
A very good day to lecturer and my fellow friends. My name is Kalevani, daughter of Palanasamy, and now I'm going to explain about the function of the urinary system. So the organ that I choose is urinary bladder. So how does the urinary system work? The urinary system's function is to filter blood and create urine as a waste byproduct. The organs of the urinary system include the kidneys, renal pelvis, ureters, bladder, and urethra. The body takes nutrition from food and converts them to energy. After the body has taken the food component that it needs, waste products are left behind in the bowel and in the blood. So the main part for the urinary bladder is two ureters and a bladder. So this narrow tube carry urine from the kidneys to the bladder. Muscles in the ureter walls continually tighten and relax, forcing urine downwards away from the kidney. And for the bladder, this triangle-shaped hollow organ is located in the lower abdomen. It is held in place by ligaments that are attached to other organs and the pelvic bones. The bladder's walls relax and expand to store urine and contract the flattened to empty urine through the urethra. The typical healthy adult bladder can store up to 2 cups of urine for 2 to 5 hours. Next is about the urethra. This tube allows urine to pass outside the body. The brain signals the bladder muscles to tighten, which squeezes urine out of the bladder. At the same time, the brain signal and sphincter muscles to relax to let urine exit the bladder through the urethra. When all the signals occurs in the correct order, normal urination occurs. So here are some fact about urine. Normal healthy urine is a pale straw or transparent yellow color. Darker yellow or honey colored urine means you need more water. A darker brownish color may indicate a liver problem or severe dehydration. And pinkish or red urine may mean blood in the urine. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Japrit Kaur and my metric number is CE190019. So now I will talk about the liver and its function. Based on the previous video, I've choose the organ liver. So now I will explain a bit regarding the liver. The liver is known as the largest solid organ and the largest gland in the human body. It can carry out over 500 roles in the body. The liver is the only organ in the body which can regenerate. This means that the liver can grow. For example, if a person is having a liver failure and we donate a part of our liver to the recipient, the liver that we donate is just 1/4 of our liver, and it will be given to the recipient, and the recipient receive the liver from the donor will eventually grow from 2 to 4 weeks. So the next point is the liver is reddish brown in color with a rubbery texture. It weighs 1.44 to 1.66 kilogram. It is located above to the left of the stomach and below the lungs. It is roughly triangular and consists of 2 lobes, which is a larger right lobe and a smaller left lobe. As based on the figure I've placed here in the slide, this is the figure that I've used for drawing the liver organ. So as you can see, the right lobe is the bigger part compared to the left lobe, and in the middle it is divided. The left lobe and the right lobe is divided with the coronary ligament, and then as you can see below there in green color is the gallbladder. Now I will be proceeding with the liver function. The liver has many functions. Some of the functions are bile production, absorption and metabolizing bilirubin. For example, if a person has high bilirubin, it has yellow fever, which is also known as jaundice. And the third point is supporting blood clot. The next point is fat metabolization, metabolizing carbohydrate, vitamin and mineral storage, help metabolize proteins, filter the blood, immunological function, production of albumin, and also synthesis of angiotensin. So as you can see, the diagram beside it shows that some of the activities which will actually damage our liver. For example, coffee and energy drink, alcohol intake, excessive workload, smoking, prescription and OTC medicines, infection, illness, stress, processed food, environment toxin, NZ solid deficient in key detox mineral, allergies, food, poor nutrition. So that's all. Thank you.
Greetings, Dr. Nabila. My name is Dinesh, CE190230. Now, I'll be talking about the heart. The heart is a hollow organ made up of muscle, which is used to transport blood in and out throughout our body. So, let's start by looking at the parts of the heart, which is very, very significant in the transportation of blood and from the heart and from the cells. Okay, so the first one we are going to see is the vena cava. Okay, so the vena cava is a large vein that carries blood to the heart from other areas of the body. So in general, the vena cava is made up of two parts, which is the superior vena cava and also the inferior vena cava. So now we'll be looking at the superior vena cava, which is a vein. So usually veins will carry blood in to the heart from other parts of the body. So this for the superior vena cava, as you can see, um, it brings blood from the upper body um, to the heart. So the upper body meaning it is from the head, neck, arms, and also the chest. Anything above the chest is considered upper body, because below near the middle part of the chest is where our heart is located. So that's the function of a superior vena cava. And then we can see here, this is an artery actually to the right lungs. We have an artery. This is where the blood goes to the right part of our lungs. And then we have from right lungs. So this is actually where the blood also comes in from the right lungs. So this is a vein over here. And then we have the right atrium. So there are actually two atriums in our heart, the right and the left. Both have their specific functions. So for the right atrium, this is where we receive blood low in oxygen from the body, and then it is emptied to the right ventricle, which is located below the right atrium, through the tricuspid valve. Okay, then we have the tricuspid valve. So tricuspid valve plays a very important role over here, because it prevents the blood which is flowing from the right atrium to the right ventricle to not shoot up back to the right atrium. So there's only one way blood actually flows, which is through the tricuspid valve. So it plays very important part, because the blood which is stored in the right ventricle is low in oxygen. If it goes up again to the right atrium, it may go up to the body through the veins, which is very dangerous. So the tricuspid valve is there to prevent the blood from flowing from the ventricle up to the atrium and out to the body. Okay, then we have the inferior vena cava. So, like all vena cavas, the inferior vena cava here uh, delivers blood or carries blood from the lower part of our body, which is the legs, feet, and other organs like the pelvis and stuff. Uh, as you can see, it carries from the lower body. So it has the same function as a superior vena cava, carries blood. And then we'll move on to the left side of our heart. The last part was the right side. Now we'll move on to the left, where we see here we have the aorta. The aorta uh, is by far the most important part of a heart, because Aorta is actually the main artery. Artery means blood flows out from the heart. So it's a main artery where it carries blood away from our heart to the rest of our body. So the blood leaves through the aortic valve. It has a valve. Aortas have a valve where it moves out through the aortic valve, and then it travels through the aorta, making a cane-shaped curve that allows the other major arteries to deliver oxygen-rich blood to the brain, muscles, and other cells. Like we saw vena cava just now. Vena cava is in charge of bringing uh, blood from the upper and the lower part, and those bloods are usually low in oxygen. Okay, so it's low in oxygen, uh, where it will be replenished later. For aorta, it brings out fresh blood which is rich of oxygen. So that's the part, that's the function of our aorta. And then we have the septum. The septum has the function of forming a barrier between two ventricles of the heart, because there's a right and left ventricle. It provides a barrier in the middle where it divides it as a right and left ventricle. This is very important because it actually allows surgeons, scientists, and also doctors to identify which part of the ventricle it is, because it's very important, because both ventricles, the right and the left, serve their functions individually. So they have to be very careful, and the septum is very important. The septum is usually located around here between the right and the left ventricle. And then we'll move to the left ventricle over here. The left ventricle is located right above the septum, or usually to the side. So the left ventricle, like the right, has the function of connecting almost to all organs systems in our body, where it pumps the oxygenated blood to the body. So the left ventricle failure, or any in an incident our left ventricle is failing or has failed, it will most probably lead to an impairment of all the other organs, or in other words, our organs will fail. Okay, and then we have the mitral bicuspid valve. Okay, the mitral bicuspid valve is usually known as a mitral valve. So the mitral valve actually serves a similar function like the bicuspid, where it prevents blood from flowing backward as it moves through the heart, because the mitral bicuspid valve is in the middle, or it's a bridgeway from left atrium to the left ventricle. So if there is no mitral valve over there, the blood which is flowing from the left atrium to the ventricle might shoot back upwards, which may cause a lot of problems. So the mitral bicuspid valve is over there to make sure it doesn't go, make sure the blood doesn't shoot back up. And then we have the left atrium. Okay, the left atrium has a similar function as the right atrium. It stores blood, but then it receives blood full of oxygen from the lungs. Okay, this is the blood which is circulating through our body with fresh oxygen blood. So actually the process is like this. Through from the left atrium, it goes down to the mitral valve, down to the ventricle, and then down to the aorta. Then the blood is dispersed around the body. This blood is full of oxygen. And then we have our uh, pulmonary artery. Okay, so what pulmonary? Pulmonary usually means something which is related to the lungs. Okay, so pulmonary artery, it carries blood from the right side actually here, right side of the heart to the lungs. Okay, this is where our lungs get the blood, where our lungs can later on nourish the blood with oxygen. Okay, so this this is the artery, this is the main artery for that. The blood carries oxygen and other nutrients to your cells. So it's through pulmonary artery the blood flows out to the lungs and gets all the nutrition, and also the other cells get all the oxygenated blood. And then on top of it is the aorta, which is the same process. It carries blood away from your heart through the arteries. And then this is these are the main parts of the lungs. The lungs in particular have a lot of parts, but these are the main parts because usually the heart is made up of four parts, which is the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. These four parts are the most important, and then they are connected by arteries and veins, and all of them have different functions, but then they do almost the same work, but just different. It's differentiated by whether they carry blood of oxygen or blood low in oxygen. So these are the differences, and this is what the heart is made up of. So that's all for me, doctor. Thank you.